Hello, people, once again. We are back in Chapter 4. We're getting closer to finishing the game. Can't wait. Before starting, I took the liberty to respec Heinrichs to a more strength-based character, more melee, heavy armor, and all the side rating I can muster. So, didn't feel like setting up a party for checks yet either, so we might suffer through those as usual. But if I bring him, I'm gonna have to replace Ulfar. If I replace Ulfar, I bring Abelard. So these three guys are kind of like my athletics guys. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. So now, back to business. We can see what Chapter 4 has to offer to us. As I said last night before ending the stream, a lot of the zones are, a lot of the old zones I've explored before have new content, and obviously our cities now have a lot of new projects that we have to knock out, starting apparently with Kavagama. Lord Captain the Tech Priests have made a sinister discovery on Kavagama, a blasphemous machine built at the behest of the wicked Cubus Delphim. This mechanism is capable of picking up the whispers of the warp. It seems to occasionally transmit a discordant Benharic melody into nowhere, but no encrypted data or other threats have been detected. It seems to be a functional side effect of sorts. Of course, the idea of using a machine instead of astropaths to contact the voices of the warp may seem tempting, but this machine is teeming with corruption. Its fuel tanks are satiated with the liquefied souls of your subjects. It has enough for now, but someday it will have to be refilled. Crazy. On behalf of the Inquisition, I hereby declare a ban on any contact with this device. Must be removed and given to our acolytes. Normally that would be all, but I will explain further. Out of respect for you, the Inquisition can reap benefits from this heretical machine. Our trained acolytes are able to carry a vigil near it, carefully listening to the dark whispers of the spirits of the Immaterium without succumbing to their corruption. We could discover their plans and warn the rogue trader whenever threat would loom over their domain. The demons wanted us to hear their vile speeches. Let them hear out righteous cry, Magnus. Let me summon the most zealous preacher who would dedicate their lives in zeal to reading a litany of fury and rage to this machine. Let the inhabitants of the warp hear us and fear us. This blasphemous creation has to be anatomized and deconstructed in the name of total knowledge. Acknowledging the principles of its work must be inspected beforehand in great secrecy, requesting the right to investigate the heretical device before disposing of it. I am just gonna go with Argenta. Hell yeah, 5,000. Alright, may the wicked cower in fear. The invited preachers, strict and stern, have started to take shifts, reciting a formidable litany about the inevitable victory of the Emperor into the Voxcaster. Their angry words flew straight into the Immaterium, reverberated in the ears of the spirits that inhabited it, unable to hide from this righteous diatribe. If one of the preachers would die, another one would take his place, and there was no shortage of volunteers. Cool. Alright. What do we have here? We do want this for sure. However, any passives in the house? This sucks. Okay. Hold on. %, minimum damage to the ranged attacks. This one wants Archive of the Expanse and Holy Ammunition. This is locked behind Unwelcomed Guests and Inferno Armor Rage. Sorry, hold on. Archive of the Expanse, Holy Ammunition. Is it... One of the projects has to be completed, so... I'm not locked behind this specifically. Okay. For this we need the Flawless Servitor. So, I'm gonna go with this. And we could check out... Ooh. Get more Imperial Navy SEAL stuff. We need Penal Battalion and Xenos Intoxication. I think this is in Janus. So, Battalion needs people. Okay. Let's take a look at the other stuff. Maybe we'll get people in the process. Everything is locked in Janus. Because we need people. Okay, let me take a look here and plan ahead a little bit. Only one that could benefit from this is Pascal. Dodge against Xenos. I think I'd rather have this. Which one needs the Great Fire and the Light Bringers? The Light Bringers is probably somewhere in Foulstone. Yes. He's the what? Enderosa's Footstep. Sorry, hold on. What? Crucible Orbital Shipyards. Crusade Shrine. Oh, so anything rank 3. I'm misreading this. We wanted this. I remember that. Okay, we need a lot of people. Once again. I'll do this since it's practically free. Just get people in the process. And under here. Pure blood. I think I'm gonna go for pure blood until we get enough people for this to gain access to this. Xenos intoxication. Toxicant. Need to finish some rank 3 stuff. Okay. We'll pick this one because we get more reputation, or where was it? This for the sake of more reputation with the Navy? Doesn't lock anything, so we'll go with that. Okay. That sorts out our data seed projects. Now we can take a look at exploring. Right, so just gonna make this unsafe. Alright. Now, we will start by looking. This is where we need to be for one of the main chapter quests. So we will wait on that. We got a landing place here. I don't remember seeing that. I could be wrong. It doesn't tell you if you have already been in a dungeon or not. You just have to try to remember. This is also one of the chapter related missions. Wrecked void ship. I think we've been there. Abandoned palace. We've never been in a palace before. Ruins, we've been there. Oh. Yeah. This is a new place. We have an unforeseen event here. And here. I think I'm gonna start with that one. We gain profit factors because we've finished a few projects. Lord Captain, we have visitors on the bridge seeking an audience. Your presence is required. Okay. Your Lordship, if I may beg for a minute of your precious attention, I am elated to notify you that a delegation of high auxiliarchs of the Adeptus Ministratum has arrived at your vessel. The holiest of his servants have come to proclaim their veneration before the rogue trader, faithful to his word and fearful of his wrath. Long may the Von Valentius name be praised in the annals of the Imperium. May the God Emperor protect this dynasty from peril and adversity. Noble Magnus, word of your righteousness and diligence in serving him has spread to the farmost corners of the Cronus expanse. It would be folly to let a paragon such as you travel among the stars without firm spiritual support. We are here to correct this egregious oversight. From this day forth, this ship will be consecrated daily and nightly by the servants of the Exiliarchy, given to you for toils eternal, so that his light in these halls may never fade. The Exiliarchy grants you a holy relic, a banner of Saint Cognates, obtained in the conquest of the Expanse. May this gift instill trepidation and reverence in the hearts of your subjects, and the altar created to bear it to become a place of prayer for your senior officers. Does your lordship wish to witness the installation of the altar and banner? You would be the first to kneel before the relic and set the example of piety for the crew. I think this is because I am a dogmatic person on this playthrough. My first playthrough, we just had a bunch of civilian-looking people who were very excited and cheered me on for being pro people and all that stuff. So that's cool to see. Whoa. Goddamn. That's nice. What is that exactly though? The iconoclast thing gave me like a scope, a big old scope. Turn your thoughts to the God Emperor. Does that do it, eh? I think it's just roleplays. Still. Interesting. I'd be very curious to see what the, man, it's very crowded here now. What the heretical playthrough gives you. Now we look like a proper chapel of some sort. Nice. I do know that there's a throne that you can unlock through some of the DLC or something. But I don't know how you could change thrones and customize. Alright, well, back to business. So we said we wanted to see this event. Oh, and we have a few projects to check out. Fellowship of the Void. Security and people. No, we wanted Bastion for... that is a lot of stuff for the Casval Commission. I haven't been working with them at all, so getting just a little bit of reputation with them might be nice. So if we go for this, we need Bastion and Secret Lair. We could go for this, so we can just max out. But it blocks anything? No, it doesn't. Red warped routes always become orange. If I knew that, I wouldn't have spent stuff. Right now, we need to focus on people, I think. So we'll go for that. So we can just keep unlocking stuff. Such as this. That finishes the Navy stuff. Explorators. Derusians. Fellowship of the Void. We need weapons for this. Gotta go get more Derusians rep. Or we have to be mindful of the fact that we don't fill everything, otherwise we block ourselves out of a lot of things. We're missing people and weapons. Okay, well, I'm gonna go for this because this is huge. This is huge. Lord Captain, after the decompression of Lady Theodora's secret workshop of Kiawagama, an epidemic of mysterious tech leprosy has broken out. Augments mutate into distorted forms, killing their hosts and the machines. Even entire assembly halls break apart into fragments that devour each other, melding into a grotesque and insane forms. The Omega-18 Manufactorum, the epicenter of the epidemic, is cornered off, but the disease will burst out of there sooner or later. Let's see what our advisors think. Eradicating the infection is our highest priority, but to completely eradicate the Manufactorum epicenter would mean inflicting serious damage to our resource supply. This unit I cannot propose another method of purging, however. The sacraments of the Messiah are available to me, cannot be revealed to the laity. Ask that you place your trust in me. Shireen, do not be so hasty with this purge. This phenomenon may be of interest to the other specialists. There are many who do not agree that all knowledge belongs solely to Cogs, who what appears to be the plague could hold amazing possibilities if we could isolate the Manufactorum and let these inquisitive minds inside. They would happily compensate us for the loss of production capacity. I have suppressed 18 different epidemics aboard the flagship, and our officers have experience in setting up quarantines. We will send them to Kiawagama to lead the tech purgator squads. They will not return from the epicenter until the infection is eradicated and the preventive exclusion zone is taken down. I think I'm gonna go with Pascal's. Or J. It's not gonna affect our supply line. Yeah. Casval Commission and profit factor gained. The mysterious seekers have arrived on the planet with an entourage comprised of Melitics, excommunicated technomats, and shady scribes. Without talking, they have paid fabulous sums of the right to experience the previously unknown xeno disease and then headed off into the bowels of the dying manufactorum. A cure for the mysterious disease has not been identified, but the research for the tick leprosy strain has made it possible to control the samples of the disease using the magnetic impulses and turn into a dangerous weapon. Okay. Can we do... this? Sure. They're still working here, here, and here. We could go for nothing. We need weapons and people. Alright, well. According to the ancient chronicles and maps handed to you by the pilgrim, this icy planet used to be the prosperous imperial colony. However, the sharp change in its trajectory brought upon by the warp anomaly raging in the system. Okay, I remember this. We gotta scan it, and we need like better ogres or something. Apparently I can't. Oh, come on. Alright, well. I think it's one of the things locked behind a contract. Oh. Well, anything that gives me people is quite good, I think. Plasteel is a dime a dozen in this game. And I'm trying to avoid spending profit factors. We can get weapons. Okay. We have a lot of chemicals, so we can get back some plasteel. And maybe now we can afford something here. Crusade. Finally. Everything else has a project going. Perfect. Then we shall head back and try to find more optional content. Ice World. Alright, so I'm just gonna go back here. Lord Captain, an urgent messenger and forces have arrested a dangerous saboteur who attempted to gain entry onto the bridge. This incident may be worthy of your attention. You see, both the saboteur and the circumstances of his capture are rather strange. I think it would be reasonable for Magus Pascal to take a look at him as well. Alright, let's see him. Understood. The saboteur will be brought to you. The group of servitors, whose movements are suspiciously well synchronized, stares at the towering prisoner. We do not need to hear them speak to recognize Numos, who has seen fit to attend the interrogation. The captured man, if he can be called that, looks positively gigantic next to the enforcers at his side. Deadly-looking metal gleams dimly beneath his faded crimson robes. His hands are folded obediently, and his macandriites are perfectly still. I greet the master of this vessel, cathedral, and offer my humble apologies for this unbidden intrusion. My apologies to you as well, brother. The interloper inclines his head in the direction of the frowning Pascal. Then the prisoner turns slightly and looks straight at Numos' observing servitor. And of course, I must beg forgiveness from you, great spirit. It was not my intent to desecrate your temple. Before I accept your apologies, tell me who you are and why you have infiltrated my ship. My name, if it matters, is Asclepius, formerly a computator general of the Cognizance Fleet, now a liber recluse with a status of Malatic. Whatever that means. Malatics are exiles whose ideas have not crossed the line of heresy, yet have come close to it. They are removed from the fleet's structure to give them a chance to see the folly of their ways and prevent sedition from spreading. Pascal's voice sounds unusually alarmed. So I guess they're like Gnostics in a way. Something like that. All of that is trivial. My past is nothing but a set of archived data. My lost status is a part of replacement string in the long chronicle of the Cognizance Fleet. I come not as the priesthood's messenger, but as a faithful disciple of the most holy Amaranth. My brother once served as the engineer prime on this ship. Asclepius gestures around him reverently. He was an adherent of the school of discontinuing the cycle, as am I. It has spread that far. It is difficult to discern Pascal's emotions from his tone. I know that my brother perished, but before he did, he sent me a message that told of a journey embarked upon by Theodora von Valentius, a journey through a dimensional gate, an artifact more than ancient than humanity itself, and toward worlds unknown. The blessed Amaranth was with her. There upon those dark worlds he witnessed a great miracle, the birth of a machine spirit of incalculable might. My brother believed that this spirit then fell a slumber within the ship like a child in a cradle. I think he's referring to Numos. Not responding to lowly pleas, that was the purpose of my pilgrimage, to reach the ship where my brother died, the ship upon whose decks the blessed Amaranth had walked, and prostrate myself before the Great Spirit. Okay. Amaranth traveled on this ship? Yes, he did. My brother's words on this were clear. Years ago, Amaranth was part of the rogue traders Theodora's inner circle, before their ways parted. Does the name Numos mean anything to you? Nothing. He has not come to know of us yet. He will, if you let him, Magnus. We sense that his words are about us, that the story he has told is our story. Okay, what do you know about this great spirit? It's a great miracle, the omniscience breath meant to help us discontinue the cycle. It was born of the treasure that Amaranth and Theodora discovered upon the dark worlds. Yet even a being so glorious needs attendants and guides, and as long as the Cognizance Fleet is racked by schism and my brothers and sisters suffer defeats without end, there is no one to aid the spirit. That is why I came here. Okay, tell me about Theodore's journey. My knowledge of it is scarce. My brother suspected that his memory, along with the memory of all who might have known the details, had been purposely modified. He saw it as a sign that the journey had revealed a great truth, and there were those who did not wish to see that truth brought to light. All that he conveyed to me was that Theodora had reached worlds unlike any the people of the Cronus Expanse had ever seen. There she unearthed a great treasure of technology, one that Amernat had the privilege of experiencing. Okay. Whatever it is, I will accept it. As will I, and yet I plead that my brother be shown leniency. His story initializes thought. We ask you to keep him for us. Numa's servitor speaks up suddenly in the faintest of whispers. I found you guilty of the offenses against the cult, Mechanicus, and House von Valentius. Your crimes warrant punishment more severe than death. You will atone by serving me, and therefore the Imperium. Okay. So, I think if you want to do the secret ending, you have to keep him alive. And all the options here lead to it, which is good. So, you're not really locked out of it, depending on whichever moral choice you decide to follow in your playthrough. So I'm going to go with this. I could not ask for more. All I wish is to remain in these halls and observe and reverence the Great Spirit's deeds. Let the cycle be discontinued. Numerous servitors turn their heads to you and nod all at once in what can be interpreted as an expression of gratitude. Cool. Apparently we need to talk to Numos now. So let's do that real quick. Hello, Numos, welcome your visit. You read the data bank recovered from Theodore's cache, and then you said the incident marked at the beginning of Numos. What did you mean by that? Yes, Numos, remember. He brought us data sustenance, and it contained a name, Epitaph. We recognized it. No, not like that. And that name, we recognized the place where Numos originate. You were the servitor's body, and how is it that you were once again in a cogitator? What have you been doing, Numos? We have been studying and observing, and helping the ship when we can. So many mechanisms, they would have suffered without our input. What about the research notes on the tech blight that we obtained from the cache on Kiavagama? This name is also known to us. It is related to Numos, although we do not understand how. Incident N87204 was a ship-wide system failure of some kind. It had Epitaph had something to do with the ships flying better. The incident marked the beginning of us. The ship became better because of us too. These are all links in the same chain, but we cannot piece them together yet. People who accompanied Theodora on her travels are strangely unaware of the incident and Epitaph. Human shells are subject to the external influences. Perhaps someone purged their memory archives, or perhaps they simply did not want to access them. It is a shame that no new information was obtained, but Numos are grateful that you tried. Okay. Numos are not a cogitator or a servitor. We cannot say where we are, but our existence is tied to the existence of the ship for now. The servitor and the cogitator are only external interfaces, shells like humans and their bodies. So we really are the spirit of the ship. Numos is silent for a long time, as though mulling over your words. We do not know what we are, But the ship is not us. The ship is our cradle. We may rise from it one day. We would like that. Bodies are not merely shells. Let's just enough about that for now. Alright. And that is everything we could do with Pneumos. Wait and research. It is time to discuss the findings and discoveries with the very entity that asked. Okay. We've already done that. So we have to wait and research. This key piece is here. Okay. Maybe we could speak to Abelard about it?
Captain.
No.
Lord.
Alright, well. Yeah, I think we could safely just continue exploring now. But nice, good to see that we're getting closer and closer to the secret ending. And what we wanted to do was go to